Our world is changing. There's no more business as usual. We're revolutionizing the way we work, automating repetitive tasks so you can elevate the work that matters. Serving tomorrow's customers' needs today. Harnessing new insights, connecting data wherever it resides. Achieving all this as one open community. Unleashing the greatest minds from industry. With trust and transparency at the core of everything. Keeping businesses, customers, and data safe. Forget the hype. It's time to deliver.
Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here at such an exciting time for the UK tech industry. It's a pleasure to follow Brent and Alex on stage, and so great to see a British unicorn. I will definitely be taking up Brent's robotic chef. Now, it's also a rare pleasure to follow the Mayor of London on stage in the middle of a general election campaign. I'm not a politician, and I won't be talking policy. And you'll be very pleased to know that I am not looking for your vote. But I am looking for your undivided attention for the next 20 minutes to reflect on a technology that will impact all our futures, generative AI. As Chief Executive of IBM in the UK and Ireland, and as Deputy President of techUK, it's wonderful to see London Tech Week firmly established as a key event on the international tech calendar. As we gather this morning, we're a year further into one of the most transformational periods in human history as the adoption of Gen AI accelerates. The potential impact is significant. According to McKinsey, AI will add $4.4 trillion a year to global GDP by 2030. In the same time frame, the OECD forecasts that UK GDP will be $3.4 trillion. So in less than 6 years from now, the AI industry will outstrip UK GDP by more than $1 trillion. That's an utterly staggering forecast. So there's a great deal at stake for all of us, a great deal at stake for our organizations, and critically, a great deal at stake for our people. At IBM, we know from our 112 years as a tech company that new technology brings net positive benefits. One of our fundamental principles is that AI should augment the work that people do and not replace them. This is a principle that we're living and breathing at IBM today. AI is helping us manage our back office functions through digital assistants that help our colleagues self-serve in HR, finance, IT, and operations. We're letting AI take care of the things that machines are good at, whilst we let our people focus on what they do best, building relationships, showing empathy, and being creative. So, as we take our first step towards working alongside AI and realizing the opportunity, there are 2 questions that I'm hearing from organizations again and again. The first, where's the real commercial value of AI right now? And the second question, top of mind, how can we trust AI to be reliable, safe, and ethical? Let me answer them clearly. There is commercial value to be had today, and it can be done safely and ethically. And 2 of our major UK clients will join me shortly to show us exactly how they're doing just that. Now, this time last year, there was lots of hype and excitement about Gen AI. And whilst there's been good progress, there is still a long way to go in business if we are to realize its full potential. Let's think about this. On the one hand, we can literally take all the world's data and put it inside an AI foundation model. Based on user prompts, these consumer models, designed for people like you and I, can generate almost any kind of text, imagery, video, and voice. On the other hand, only a tiny amount of enterprise data currently sits inside foundation models, not even 1%. Now, I fully appreciate that having all your enterprise data ready to deploy is far from easy, but there is power in moving forward, use case by use case, without the burden of a 3-year data project. If we truly believe that data, alongside our people, is our most precious asset in business, we have to move faster to ingest our enterprise data into trustworthy foundation models. And as we scale AI, I believe there are 3 things to consider. First, AI needs to be trusted. We will only realize the opportunity if there is good governance in the way we design, build, and deploy AI applications. That's why governance is an integral part of IBM's watsonx AI and data platform. Second, it's about flexibility. We know that model selection matters. You need the ability to combine AI models, whether they're IBM's, your own, or open source models. And you need to be able to deploy these models across multiple environments, whether it be public, private, or most likely hybrid clouds. And finally, I believe in an open approach that maximizes the benefits of being part of a global AI ecosystem that can innovate together. That's why we decided to open source our latest and most advanced and performant Granite AI model family. By open sourcing them, we're inviting clients, developers, and global experts to build on the strengths and push the boundaries of what AI can achieve in enterprise environments. We also provide indemnity for our Granite Foundation models. That way, we can all innovate with confidence using our own enterprise data, which is a rich source of competitive advantage. We also launched the AI Alliance last year in partnership with Meta. It includes some of the world's great universities, startups, scale-ups, big tech companies, science agencies, and philanthropists, all coming together to say loudly and clearly that we too are going to contribute openly to the future of AI. That's the best way to solve some of our biggest challenges. Fresh innovations in AI are announced almost daily in healthcare, cybercrime, and any number of business applications. To give one example, in healthcare, we used AI to help University Hospital Coventry and Warwickshire reduce patient no-shows, allowing doctors to see an additional 700 patients a week. The hospital can now review in just 18 hours as many patient letters as it would previously have taken them to get through in 4 years. And this solution was implemented in a matter of weeks. If we think about scaling just that one simple use case nationwide, you start to see some serious productivity gains. The tech industry is now working furiously to deliver that kind of productivity across all industries and sectors of our economy. In fact, it's estimated that 1 billion apps will be created in the next 4 years alone, each trained on specific domain data to serve very specific use cases. Why then would we limit our choice of models when there's so much innovation available? It simply doesn't make sense. All this fluidity and innovation across multiple models requires openness and transparency if we are to succeed. But we need to choose our models carefully, and we need to know the ingredients before we empty our enterprise data into them. For example, how the model was built, what data it was trained on, how it's using our own enterprise data to make decisions, and how we can be sure that those decisions are ethical, unbiased, and fair. An open approach is the cornerstone of the partnerships we build with our customers and how we operate with governments, regulators, and other stakeholders. An open approach means more eyes on the code. An open approach means more minds on the problem and more hands on the solution. An open approach promotes the development of ethical AI practices by allowing independent verification. And open encourages collaboration across the global AI community, leading to shared knowledge and faster problem solving. And this open approach is already bearing fruit for businesses that depend heavily on the quality of their customer experience. Our client, NatWest, one of the UK's biggest banks, has been at the forefront with AI, and just this morning announced the latest evolution of Cora, the bank's award-winning digital assistant. Now, I'm a NatWest customer, and if you're anything like me, you're on your banking app multiple times a day. So you'll appreciate the challenge NatWest has in keeping all of us and its 19 million customers happy and engaged. To tell us more about Cora, it's my pleasure to welcome on stage Wendy Redshaw, Chief Digital Information Officer at NatWest Retail Bank. Hi. Wendy, it's great to have you with us. Thank you for joining us today. Tell us, customer experience is pretty important in banking. Tell us why that is and maybe what you've been doing with AI to improve customer experience.
Excellent. Well, first of all, I'd just like to say I am so grateful to be here at London Tech Week. It's really super fascinating to see so many organizations and talent coming together to talk about the progress of tech, yes, obviously, but also look for future opportunities and collaboration. Really great. In terms of the bank leveraging AI, it's been an incredibly important tool for us at NatWest, serving our 19 million customers across the UK. And I'm rather glad you are one of them. Apparently, 1 person in every 7 carries the mobile phone in their hand. So lots of high bar to live up to. But we've been using AI for a while in the bank, and AI and machine learning models actually form about 10% of our models that we have across the bank. And we've integrated that AI within the guardrails of our AI principles to ensure that all systems are subject to human oversight and that they respect and they promote human agency, that they're technically, obviously, robust, resilient, and that they are safe for our customers to use. They need to be free from unfair bias and also that discrimination that you mentioned earlier, Nicola. And also that we build them in compliance with our data and ethics principles. So you're right, in 2017, we introduced Cora as our 24/7 AI-powered digital assistant to answer day-to-day queries and do simple instructions. Initially, Cora was a text-based chatbot. However, over time, Cora's evolved through natural language processing and machine learning, and she's incorporated, I call her a she's incorporated more advanced capabilities, including voice recognition, to enhance that customer experience. We've found that integrating AI into these areas can offer a more efficient, secure, and personalized service. We've seen a major growth, actually, in how our customers interact with Cora as a digital assistant, a digital companion, as it were. In 2023, she helped 10.8 million customers to resolve their banking queries, and that's up from 5 million in 2019. So it is really an important part for us.
Thanks, Wendy. I know just this morning, you've announced an enhanced version of Cora, Cora Plus. Can you tell us what's changed and what that means for us as customers?
Yeah, I called her Cora Plus. I'm not in marketing, as you can tell. But anyway. Such is life. Well, yes, Cora has been such an important part of the way that we support customers, that we really felt that looking into the generative AI side of things was necessary, and we called her Cora Plus as a next evolution. It's just the first forays, but in order to maximize value for our customers, we've incorporated multiple foundation models, just as you mentioned. So we've got from IBM, from Meta, from OpenAI, and they are all basically doing what they do best within specific elements of Cora Plus. We'll be one of the first banks in the UK to deploy generative AI intertwined with traditional AI through our digital assistant. Meaning that basically where it makes sense to do that, the customers will have more of a natural conversational engagement with us. For example, previously when a customer asked Cora about a mortgage or a lending product, a link would be provided to a general page, and that would then mean that the customer could scroll through and navigate different options, but the customer would have to do some of the work themselves. Now, Cora Plus will be able to understand the context and the nuances of each query that the customer makes, and will be able to provide more accurate and personalized responses. I tell you what, why don't I show you what I mean? Let's see. Come on, Cora. There we go. Right. Okay, so basically, we've got Cora on the left, and we've got Cora Plus on the right. Hopefully you'll be able to see some difference. This is very early days. We only announced it this morning. So we're going to run through a really simple example, which will show how we're reducing the clicks and improving the customer experience and making the engagement more personalized. So to begin with, we're going to ask Cora the same question on both sides. Now, I can't read that, but basically the customer is asking if they need to go through affordability checks when they're choosing a mortgage deal. So in Cora, the initial response would be to have a look at it through the natural language understanding module, and that is then going to determine which logic tree to take the customer down. And Cora is seeing that she needs to ask a few more triage questions in order to really understand what information to tell the customer next. So the customer chooses my existing mortgage, and Cora continues to narrow down which information to share with the customer by asking more questions. So the customer continues to answer those questions, and Cora seems to have a final triage question before, yes, she has the answer. She partially answers the question herself, and she provides a link for the customer, just as I mentioned, to find the answer on an up-to-date web page, and you can just click through there. So if we now move across to Cora Plus, who's had the same question, the very first thing that Cora Plus does is to make sure that the customer is happy with using generative AI, with the option for the customer to find out more about it if they want to, or if they need to. Now, obviously, if the customer says no at this point, they'll be popped back into the same interaction that you've just seen on the left-hand side. This is what I mean by it being intertwined. But if the customer says yes, which we hope they will, yes, excellent, then what will happen next is that Cora will scan the web page data using, to the gentleman's point earlier, retrieval augmented generation, or RAG as it's known, and also a knowledge base of web pages, which Cora Plus uses to gather confidence over her answer. The web link and the question are then sent to a large language model, and in our case, because everybody asks me, GPT 3.5 Turbo, to summarize, and then we'll pass back to the customer, as you can see here. Cora also adds a more relevant web link in case the customer wants more information if required. So there you have it, Nicola. Cora versus Cora Plus, reducing the clicks, improving the customer experience, and making the whole thing more personalized.
Brilliant, Wendy. Thanks so much for telling us about Cora Plus. I can tell you, as an overactive user of your app, I will definitely be road testing her in the next few weeks.
Please do. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. So that's banking. Let's move to a completely different sector and see what's happening there. Our client WPP is a FTSE 50 company and one of the largest advertising and media businesses in the world, with over 100,000 people in more than 100 countries. To tell us about their journey, please welcome WPP's Chief Technology Officer, Stefan Pretorius.
Thanks, Nicola. Morning, everyone.
Stefan, thanks for joining us. The creative industries have always been really early adopters of technology, and it would be great to hear from you. How are you looking to strategically leverage AI across your business?
The way we look at AI and WPP is very much like I think everyone here who works in the knowledge industry should look at it. AI, and particularly generative AI, is completely going to transform every part of knowledge work that we do today, from accounting to law to strategy and consulting, all the way through to marketing and advertising. And so it's absolutely vital that we invest in these technologies early on, innovate, try things, and basically figure out for ourselves how best to apply it to our industries. Through all the work we do internally, but also the work we do with our clients, we've really synthesized the process of leading with AI down to 6 key elements. It starts with leadership, and never before in my career have CEOs been more focused on one topic consistently across all industries. And so, we require all business leaders, and particularly CEOs, to have a vision for how AI can be applied and to drive that narrative within their organization and the industry. It requires a very concerted focus on partnership. Our partnership with IBM and other technology leaders is absolutely key in how we deliver AI solutions in our own industries. The amount of investment going into core technology research, infrastructure, etc., is phenomenal, and every company here can benefit from that by applying those innovations and those investments in their own business. It's critical that you give all your people in your organization access to AI in a safe, secure environment. We've done that through our own marketing operating system called WPP Open. And we call it open for the same reasons that you focus on openness in IBM, which is that we need to be able to integrate with multiple third-party technologies, integrate with our clients' data and combine it with our own data that we have about marketing and advertising, and really use both our clients and our internal teams to touch the technology, use it, innovate it, and drive it forward for us. You have to invest. $300 million in annual investment for us is about 2% of net sales. You can't do this organically. And critically, you need to transform your workforce at every level, from the executive level all the way through to new joiners and young members of staff.
Thanks for sharing that. I really like the way you're thinking end-to-end about AI across your business. I spoke earlier about how IBM's using AI to augment the work of our people. Yeah. Can you maybe talk a little bit about the skills and people challenges that you're working with?
I think this is absolutely key, and as was pointed out earlier today as well, the UK has such an incredible talent pool in terms of both tertiary education and research institutions, and so there's a lot of raw capability to draw from in this market. But you have to transform both the people that you have in your organization currently, as well as bringing in new skills. And so we've attacked this really at all levels of seniority. We sent a large cohort of people to the Oxford Business School for an AI in business postgrad diploma, all the way through to driving our own education programs across WPP, and critically investing in young people and their careers early on. So we founded this WPP Creative Technology Apprenticeship Program 2 years ago, and we were incredibly purposeful in focusing the candidates on young people from diverse backgrounds and disproportionately female candidates, because we believe that it's not just about building better tools, it's about creating and changing a new landscape where the people using those tools are more representative of the world we live in.
Brilliant, thank you. Now, with one of the world's biggest creative industries on stage, we have to take the opportunity to see just some of the incredible work coming out of your AI studios. What can you show us?
So I'll give you 3 examples, but essentially the way we started going down this journey is to look at our entire service offering and to identify the use cases of AI from strategy through to creativity, media planning and buying, CRM, public relations, the entire gamut of what we do, and to identify the key use cases that could have a significant impact on our business. So I'll just give you 3 of about 50 examples. The first one is really an example for stimulating ideation. So it solves the blank page problem. And what we're doing in this case, this is in our creative studio within WPP Open. We are starting a mood board for an ideation session at the beginning of a campaign planning process. So we're creating a campaign for an EV in a market, and we're trying to understand or get options or ideas for different combinations of time of day and weather conditions and messaging around that. The system automatically creates the matrix, creates the headlines, the calls to action, and even the sample images to get you going. None of this is going out to market. This is purely for internal ideation. The second example I want to show you is really a very specific problem we have in our industry, which is that you can't just have good or plausible content. The content you make for your clients has to be accurate. It has to represent their products specifically and incredibly accurately. And so in this case, we're using a combination of 3D rendering and generative AI and combining that with lighting and shadows in a composite environment. It's a custom pipeline. This is not just text to image or text to video that you would find in the consumer-grade solutions. And then lastly, we have the ability, like Alex was talking about earlier, to create entirely new content for products that don't yet exist using simulation environments like NVIDIA Omniverse. And so this is work that we did for BYD with NVIDIA earlier this year, where this product does not exist yet. And we're able to create high-fidelity, really emotive content by simulating that car in a virtual environment using physics, using lighting engines, in order to create demand before the products are even bought. Supply chains are getting shorter, and solutions like this allow us to solve and create demand early on.
Brilliant. Absolutely outstanding to see the creative. Thank you so much. And what a brilliant way to help demonstrate how AI is already helping your customers. And I really, really love the way you're thinking about your strategy, your people, and all of your creative processes in parallel. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
appreciate it. Thank you. So you've just heard 2 great examples of AI in action from 2 of the UK's largest organisations in very different sectors. The AI opportunity for the UK is unprecedented. To capture the opportunity at this moment in time, we need to drive AI adoption at the rate and pace of other innovative markets. IBM's Global AI Adoption Index shows that around 40% of UK's large companies have already deployed AI. This compares with markets like India, the UAE, and Singapore, who each have adoption rates around 20 percentage points higher. Now, if you look forward, the great news is that another 40% of large UK enterprises are actively piloting Gen AI deployments. If the majority of those pilots go into production quickly, we can be very optimistic about the pace of change in the UK. And so we should be. Given our outstanding R&D community, the number of AI startups, and the collective talent we have at our disposal. Some say it takes a village to raise a child. I can tell you with 5 sons, that is very true. I also believe it will take a village across all sectors of our economy to work in an open and transparent way. A village of researchers, developers, and innovators to build ethical and reliable AI solutions. A village aligned with the needs of our diverse economy and society. Maya Angelou once said, "Never trust anyone who doesn't laugh." I can see you're all trustworthy souls here. In business, I'm tempted to now say, never trust a tech company that doesn't show you their code. I hope you all have a fabulous week at London Tech Week. Thank you.